Welcome to Take Flight with Crow Pose, a beginner-level arm balancing class. My name is Adriana Lee, and I'll be guiding you through this 30-minute class. All you need today is 1 or 2 blocks. Once you've got your props together and maybe turn on some music, then we'll get started right away. Find a comfortable cross-legged seat. If your hips are a little tight today, you might choose to sit on top of a block. Allow your palms to rest facing down on your knees for grounding, and close your eyes. Take a full breath in through your nose. And slow exhale through your nose, allowing your sit bones to soften into the mat. Take another deep inhale, expanding your breath into your upper back. Exhale, let your shoulder blades soften down your back. And we'll begin today's practice with IAP, or Intra-Abdominal pressure breathing. So start off by breathing into your chest and your upper back equally. Hold the breath for a moment at the top, and exhale, slowly let the breath go. Now this time, inhale into your upper back, your chest, and your side ribs equally. Hold the breath for a moment at the top, and exhale, softly let it go, relaxing your jaw. Now this time we'll take a full breath with IAP, intra-abdominal pressure. Breathe into your front ribs, your back ribs, your side ribs, and your belly equally. As you hold full, feel for the intra-abdominal pressure of the breath. And then exhale softly. At the bottom of your exhale, draw your belly in. And do that again. Full breath in, breathe into back ribs, side ribs, and belly. Hold the breath. Feel that intra-abdominal pressure. And then exhale softly and draw your belly in. Continue to breathe with IAP as we move into wrist stretches. Bring your left palm to face you, right thumb to your pinky knuckle, and wrap your other fingers around your pinky. As you exhale, draw your hand forward and use your thumb to traction the pinky back. Inhale with IAP, switch to your ring finger. Exhale, guide the hand forward and stretch through the bones of your hands. Inhale, switch to middle finger. Exhale, send the hand forward, spread through your palm. Inhale to switch. And exhale, draw the index finger back. When you get to your thumb, you'll wrap all 5 fingers around the thumb and then pull the hand back. Continue to breathe with IAP as we move on to your other hand. Inhale to switch. Catch onto the pinky. Exhale, draw the hand back. Inhale, switch. And exhale, traction the finger away from the palm. Continue at your own breath pace, maintaining IAP breath. If you don't have any knee sensitivity, after you've finished up your finger stretches, come onto your knees for phase 2 of wrist stretches. Point your fingers back towards your knees and lower down to the knuckles, keeping your thumbs and heels of the hands lifted away from the ground. You can lean back a bit to get a little bit deeper of a stretch. Then breathe with IAP. Inhale, expand your breath into your back ribs, your side ribs, and your belly. Exhale. And then lower your hands all the way down onto the mat. Continue to lean back if you need a little bit more of a stretch here. And continue to spread through fingers, breathing with IAP. And release your hands away from the ground. And we'll move into shoulder shrugs. Take a full breath in. Breathe with IAP and glide your shoulders up towards your ears. Then exhale, squeeze the top tips of your shoulder blades together and glide them down the back. Inhale, expand your breath into your chest, your upper back, and your belly. Exhale, squeeze the middle tips of your shoulder blades together. Squeeze and slide them down your back. Inhale with IAP. Expand breath into front ribs, side ribs, and belly. Then exhale, squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades together. Use your elbows to squeeze in a little tighter and squeeze them down the back. We'll do this one more time. Inhale into upper back. Glide shoulder blades up towards your ears, squeeze top tips together and slide them down your back. Inhale into chest, upper back, and low back. Exhale, squeeze the middle tips of your shoulder blades together. Squeeze and slide down the back. Inhale with IAP. Breathe into front ribs, side ribs, belly. Exhale, squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades together. Add your elbows, squeeze and glide down the back. Grab your block and lay down on your back. Supine bird wings with the block. Place the block right between your thighs with your knees about hip-width distance apart. Then lift your elbows up towards your front ribs with your palms facing towards your face, so elbows are not resting on the ground. Inhale with IAP. Exhale, squeeze your elbows against your ribs and rotate your forearms away from each other. Press down through your lower back. Inhale, relax your forearms back to center. Exhale, glue your elbows to your ribs and rotate your forearms away out to the sides. Inhale, relax back to center. Exhale, squeeze elbows against the ribs. Don't let them separate and pull your hands away from each other. Keep going. Breathe with IAP as you move. And maintain your low back pressing into the mat and thighs squeezing against the block lightly. Do 3 more rounds on your own. Once you've finished your 3rd round, remove the block and place it to the side. Elbow to knee abdominals. Clasp your hands together behind your head, wrap your shoulders and point your elbows up towards the ceiling. Then lift your knees over your hips. Inhale, lift your chest and shoulders up. Hold a breath, press your low back down into the mat. Twist your elbows towards your left, extend the right leg forward. Exhale, pull your low belly down. Inhale, bend both knees, come back to center. Hold the breath, press low back down, twist, elbows towards right knee. Exhale, reach left leg forward and pull low belly down. Soften your neck. Inhale, come back up to center, both knees bend. Hold the breath, press low back down, twist, elbows to the left. Exhale, reach right thigh bone forward, press into the ball of your right foot, pull low belly down. Inhale, bend both knees, come back to center. Hold your breath, press low back down, twist, elbows to the right. Exhale, reach left leg forward, push into the ball of your left foot and pull low belly down. Inhale, come back to center, lift chest and shoulders high. Hold the breath, press low back down. Exhale, twist. Elbows towards the left, reach right leg forward, draw your low belly down. Last one, inhale, bend both knees. Hold the breath, press low back down, twist elbows to the right. Exhale, reach left leg forward, push through the ball of the left foot, pull low belly down. Inhale, bend both knees. Set your head down, set your feet down, and grab your block to get set up in bridge over a block with figure 4. Ground down through your feet with feet hip-width distance apart, then lift your hips up and place the block at whatever level feels appropriate to you underneath your sacrum. Press into your feet, lengthen your tailbone forward, and relax your shoulders. You can rest your arms by your sides. If you feel like your shoulders really want to work, reach your arms up. And then lift up your right leg, externally rotate it, and cross your ankle over your left thigh. Take a deep breath into your hips. Exhale, lengthen your tailbone forward and use your right foot like a hook to send the right thigh bone forward and out to the right in the trajectory that your knee is pointing. Inhale into your shoulders and upper back. Exhale, relax your jaw. Keep reaching forward through the right thigh bone. And use your breath to create space in the right hip joint. Uncross your right leg and release your right foot down to meet left. And then pick up your left leg and hook your ankle over the right thigh. Take a full breath into your belly and low back equally. Exhale, reach your tailbone forward, reach your left thigh bone forward into the left. Use your foot like a hook. Inhale into belly, low back, and down into your left hip. Exhale, push down through your right foot and energetically hug the heel back towards your sit bones to get your hamstrings turned on. Breathe deeply and expand your breath all around the left hip, feeling for using the breath to create space. Lower your left foot back down to meet the right. Then press into both feet, lift your hips up off the block, remove the block, place it to the side, but stay in bridge. Take an inhale, tuck tailbone, and slowly roll down through your spine. Then take a moment to widen your feet and let your knees windshield wiper side to side, dropping to the left and to the right. Once you feel complete, we'll move into Happy Baby. Pull your knees in towards your chest, then widen your knees just wider than the rib cage and catch onto the outer edges of your feet. If that feels far away today, you can grab onto your shins or even your hamstrings. If it feels good to add a rock side to side, go ahead and do so. Happy Baby is a very similar shape to crow pose. Take a moment to let your body memorize this shape. That way, later on, when we flip it upside down, it'll feel familiar. Now squeeze your knees into your chest, roll over onto your side, and come up to a seat. You can either choose to sit kneeling or cross-legged, whatever's most comfortable. Then extend your arms straight out in front of you. Now we'll move through the 4 movements of the scapula or the shoulder blades, starting with retraction. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. You should feel for a little opening across the chest. And then protract. Push your spine back so that you feel your back broaden. We'll do that again. Retract and squeeze, protract and push. One more time, retract, squeeze shoulder blades together, and protract, push the spine back. Now we'll move into elevation and depression. So elevate, slide the shoulder blades up to the ears, and then depress, slide them down towards your hips. 2 more times, elevate, glide the shoulder blades up towards your ears, and depress, slide them down towards your hips. One more round, inhale, elevate. Exhale, depress. Now we'll move through the 4 movements again, but this time in a tabletop position. So starting with retraction, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then protract, push the spine up towards the ceiling. Do that again, retract to squeeze, and protract to push. One more, retract, squeeze, protract, push. Come back to neutral, and now we'll find elevation and depression. Slide shoulder blades towards the ears, and then down towards your hips. Up towards the ears, depress down towards the hips. Last one, elevate up towards the ears, and depress down towards the hips. Now we're going to move into all 4 of the movements in a circle. So beginning with protraction, push up towards the ceiling, elevate towards the ears, retract, squeeze the shoulder blades together, then depress, slide them down towards the hips. Do that again, protract, elevate, retract, and depress. Protract, spine up between the shoulder blades, elevate, shoulders towards the ears, retract, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and depress, take them down towards the hips. Awesome, one more, protract, push, elevate, retract, squeeze, and depress down towards the hips. Find a neutral spine and we'll set up for bird dog. Extend your left arm straight out in front of you and reach your right leg back with your heel to the height of your hip. Lift your body up out of the right shoulder joint and press down through the top of your left foot. Inhale, and exhale, lift your belly away from the mat. Then set your left hand down, but keep your right knee lifted. We'll squeeze the knee towards the tricep 4 times. Squeeze. And then inhale, reach your leg back to start position. Exhale, squeeze knee up as high towards your shoulder as you can. Inhale, extend it back. Last 2, exhale, squeeze knee towards the top of the shoulder, high as you can. Inhale, reach it back. And last one, knee to the shoulder. Reach your leg back. And set your right foot back down on the ground. Other side. Neutralize your spine, right arm forward, left leg back into bird dog. Again, lift the body up out of the shoulder joint and out of the hip joint and draw your belly away from the mat. Inhale with IAP. Breathe into back ribs, side ribs, and belly. Exhale, hug your belly away from the mat. Last breath here. And set your right hand down and we'll set up the knee to tricep kicks. So squeeze your knee towards the top of the shoulder and inhale, reach it back. Exhale, left knee, left shoulder, high as you can. Inhale, reach it back. Last two, really pressing for as high up onto the shoulder as you can get it. Inhale, reach back. And last round. Exhale, squeeze, knee towards the shoulder. Inhale, reach back. Then lower your toes down to the ground, step back into plank. Unpress your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Stay here for a moment. You might choose to bend one knee at a time or stay still. Lift your sit bones towards the ceiling and relax your neck. And then walk your feet to the top of the mat to hang in ragdoll. Feet are about hip width distance apart. Bend your knees a lot and catch onto opposite elbows. Allow your belly to lay on your thighs and relax your neck. And then release your hands down to the ground. Bend your knees and roll all the way up to standing. Head comes up last. And we'll move into our sun salutations. Place your hands by your sides. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forward. Half forward fold, inhale, hands to your shins, elongate your spine. Exhale, ground your palms, step back into plank. Modified Chaturanga hold. Bend your elbows and lower down to hover about halfway down. Draw your belly away from the ground. Stay strong through your hands and your shoulders. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Set your chest down. Untuck your toes, slide your hands forward for cobra. Inhale, drag your rib cage forward and up. Exhale, pull your ribs forward and down. Place your hands back under your shoulders, come up onto your knees, then tuck your toes, lift hips, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Slow exhale, and then walk your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, half forward fold, elongate your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reverse swan dive, rise all the way up to standing, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, either hands to shins or hands on the ground. Exhale, step back to plank. Now this time we'll hold our plank. Squeeze the heels of your hands towards your toes and toes towards the heels of your hands. Hold for one more breath. You can either repeat the modified Chaturanga, lowering your knees down first, or you can take a full Chaturanga here. Bend your elbows to lower just halfway down. Inhale, roll over the toes, upward facing dog. And exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Take whichever variation suits you better, and then we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take one deep breath in down dog. And then walk your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, half forward fold, elongate your spine. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold forward. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reverse swan dive, reach arms up. Exhale, lower your hands to your heart. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Half forward fold, inhale, lengthen your spine, spread through collarbones. Exhale, step back to plank. Hold your plank. This time take your right knee towards your right tricep and step back to plank. Then left knee to left tricep and step back to plank. Keep going. Right knee, right tricep, back to plank. Left knee, left tricep, back to plank. Good. Keep going. Draw your belly away from the ground. Stay strong through your shoulders and through both legs. Feel for protracting by pushing the back of your heart space up towards the ceiling. Chaturanga, bend your elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, back into down dog. One full breath in and slow breath out. Then walk your feet to the top of the mat or hop. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold forward. Inhale, reverse swan dive, reach your arms up. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose, hands to the heart. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, step back into plank. Then set your knees down for frog pose. Face sideways on your mat so that both knees are padded. You can also roll up the edges of your mat or place blankets under your knees for extra support. Then grab a block and place that underneath your pubic bone. If you need more support, stack a few blocks. Then lower your chest down towards the ground. Your knees are in line with your hips and your ankles are just below your knees, almost making a rectangular shape with your legs. Feet are actively flexed. Take a full breath into low belly and low back. And exhale, soften your hips down towards the mat. Inhale into your chest and your upper back. Exhale, relax your jaw. To come out, you can slide yourself forward and let your knees come together behind you, or walk your hands under your shoulders and push yourself back up, the same way that you came into the pose. Move your props out of your way, and then come back into down dog. Head to ankle prep. Step your right foot forward and ground your left heel down, just like warrior two legs. Bend your right knee. You can either let both hands stay right under your shoulders, or you could walk them back behind you. If you still need more, set your left hand next to your left foot, possibly on a block, and right hand onto your right thigh, close to the hip crease. Straighten out your right arm and lift your belly away from your thigh, feeling for tractioning up the hip joint. Inhale into your right hip. Exhale, bend your right knee and draw your belly away from the thigh, creating more space. And then if your hand was on your thigh, set it back down on the ground. Point all 10 toes towards the left side of the mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold forward with both legs straight. Prasarita Padottanasana A. If it feels very challenging to keep your hands on the ground, you can widen your feet here. If this pose feels too easy, walk your feet in a little bit closer. Now walk your hands to the top of the mat, set your left knee down, and inch your right foot across into pigeon. You can choose to place a prop underneath the right sit bone if it's elevated off the ground a lot. Inhale, lift up through your chest, level out your hips, and exhale, fold forward. You can rest your forehead down on your forearms or stacked fists. Inhale into low back and belly. Exhale, relax your outer hips. Inhale into your shoulders and your upper back. Exhale, relax your jaw. Now reconnect with your IAP, or intra-abdominal pressure breath here. To come out, walk your hands under your shoulders, tuck your left toes under, and step straight back into down dog. And then step your left foot between your hands, head to ankle prep. Ground your right foot down on the ground, just like warrior two legs. And either take hands underneath your shoulders, walk your hands back behind you, or set your right hand down next to your right foot or on a block, and left hand onto the left thigh close to the hip joint. Straighten out your left arm and lift your belly away from your thigh. If you take the third variation, the goal of the hand on the thigh is to traction the thigh bone away from the hip joint. So use your breath to continue creating space. Inhale into hips. Exhale, lift your belly away from your thigh. And Prasarita Padottanasana. Straighten out your legs, all 10 toes face towards the side of the mat. This time come all the way up to standing first and clasp your hands together behind your back. Inhale to lift your chest. And exhale, fold forward. Squeeze the heels of your hands together. If this is too much on your shoulders, you can hold on to a strap instead. Allow the crown of your head to get heavy down towards the ground. Inhale into your chest and your shoulders. Exhale, relax your jaw. And lower your hands down to the ground, pigeon. Set your right knee down, walk your hands to the top of the mat, and inch your left foot across. Take a moment to level and square your hips. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, lower down onto forearms. You can set your head down either on stacked fists, stacked forearms, or a block, whatever is most comfortable. Inhale into your hips. Exhale, reach your right thigh bone back, left thigh bone forward, getting a little bit active in the pose. And then breathe into your shoulders. Exhale, release any tension that you don't need here from the shoulders. Feel for a sense of peace. And walk your hands under your shoulders, tuck your back toes under, and this time come back into a tabletop position for a moment. Grab your block, and this time we'll set up for dolphin with the block between your forearms. Set your forearms down on the mat with the block right in between your fists. Your thumbs will be pointing up towards the ceiling. Then lift your hips up towards the ceiling just like down dog and walk your feet in as much as is necessary. Push your forearms down into the ground to lift your body up out of the shoulder joints. You can bend your knees here if that would feel better on your lower back. Lift up through your sit bones. We'll stay here for one more deep breath. Continue to push down through your fists and your forearms. Then set your knees back down, move the block out of your way, and push back into down dog. From down dog, walk your feet outside of your hands into a malasana squat, or a yogi squat. Place your hands at your heart and press your elbows into your thighs. Squeeze your thighs back into your elbows. You can find a little bit of side-to-side movement here if that would feel good, or you can stay still if that feels better. If this pose is very intense, feel free to work higher, maybe even having your forearms on top of your thighs. Now we'll move through a little sequence here. Take your hands down to the ground and step your left foot back into a lizard lunge. Take a moment to push the earth away through your hands and your feet, and then step right foot back to meet left into plank. Now left side lizard lunge, step your left foot outside of your left hand, press the earth away. And then right foot outside of the right hand back into malasana. We'll keep going just like this. Take a moment in malasana, then hands down, step your right foot back, lizard lunge, left foot back, plank, then right foot forward, lizard lunge, left foot forward, malasana. Keep going. Right foot back, lizard, left foot back, plank, right foot forward, lizard, left foot forward, malasana. Last 2 rounds here. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, back into malasana. And very last round. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. Come back into malasana. And now we'll get ready for our peak sequence. So starting to move into crow pose. Our very first round of crow pose we'll do with 2 blocks. If you don't have 2 blocks, don't worry. 1 block is just fine. Make sure that you're setting your hands down first and then lifting your feet up onto the block. Now with the 2 blocks, we won't be lifting our feet off the block. Instead, we'll just play with pouring a little bit of weight forward and feeling for the weight going into the fingertips. Once you've had a breath or 2 there, then move down to 1 block. Hands down first, then feet perched up onto the block, and lean your weight forward. This time maybe play with lifting up 1 foot, and then the other. 1 at a time, maybe even both feet at the same time. And once you feel ready, set your feet back down on the mat. Now this time, if 1 block was challenging enough, you can stick with the 1 block, or you can start to move into crow without blocks. Now, if you notice that your feet are falling back down onto the ground, that means you need to send your weight forward more. Look forward, lean the weight forward, and then your feet should pretty naturally float up. Hold your crow for as long as is possible, and then when you're ready to come down and lie all the way down on your back. You made it. Once you're lying down, give your wrists a little bit of love for a moment. Massage each one. And then squeeze your knees into your chest and let both of your knees fall over to the right into a supine twist. You can either reach your left arm overhead, or if your shoulder easily rests on the mat, allow your left arm to open out to the left. Take a deep breath into your belly and continue breathing all the way up into your chest. Exhale and allow your shoulders to get heavy and soften into your twist. And then roll back to center. Give your knees a squeeze for a moment and switch sides. Roll your knees over to the left. Let your right arm either reach overhead or out to the side if your shoulder blade easily touches the mat. Take a deep breath in, breathing from your hips up into your shoulders. Exhale, let your shoulders get heavy, allowing gravity to do the work of twisting for you. Inhale, breathe up the length of your spine. Exhale, soften and deepen into your twist. Unwind out of your twist and draw your knees back into your chest one last time. And then release into your final Shavasana. Allow your feet to fall open. Mat width apart or even wider, take up space. Allow your palms to rest facing up, symbolic of receiving. And close your eyes. Take a deep breath into your chest and your upper back. Exhale, sigh it out through your mouth. And let your shoulders get heavy. And begin to observe your breath as it flows in and out through your nose. Observe the rise and fall of your belly and your chest. Anchor your awareness on the breath. And begin to deepen your breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, inviting awareness back into your body. Turn your head from side to side, reawakening your spine. Take a deep inhale and stretch your arms over your head like you just woke up from a nap. Point your toes and stretch your whole body long. As you exhale, roll over onto one side in fetal position. Take just a moment here in gratitude towards yourself for making it to your mat today. And then press yourself all the way back up to a comfortable cross-legged seat, placing your hands together at your heart in Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. The light in me honors, respects, and deeply loves the light within you. Namaste.